What's up? How's it going? Gonna continue on this Terminator Sorcerer today. Pretty confident that he'll get finished, so that's a plus. Not too much remains. We got a little bit of glowing elements that were missed on last stream, some script writing on the parchment, and the base, and pretty much that's all that remains really on this guy. I'll begin with the glowing elements. I'll start with a bit of flow improver because that seemed to make the magic happen last stream. And some simple Liquitex ink. And we'll give it a mix, and it's way more than I need. That's for sure. Alright, so let's see about getting these hard to reach runes filled in. Yeah, that flow improver is worth. Awesome. I believe that's the only engraved detail that was missed. I looked up the Leviathan heavy metal paint job for this model, and I noticed that they paint these nodes glowing as well, so I think they'll follow suit. I think it'll only make things look better. This is the Toxic Mist, just on my palette from last time. Is it too watery? Yeah, it seems like it. Certainly seems like it. Just Army Painter's Toxic Mist. And we're just gonna put a bit of that in on the old palette. Really should look into a replacement sponge for my wet palette. It is pretty beat up. Maybe just like a chamois or something. There's I think 2 more on his chest, and then 2 more on his on the back of his legs. Not really sure what these are. Some sort of hardware to spread the psychic fortress through his body. I don't know. The ones on the Psychic Hood I get, but why on the back of his legs? What's that about? What's the deal with that? Let's get a bit of this white ink and see if I can just place a dab on the middle of these. And hopefully that'll enhance the hex rates thing. So this is Dark Sea Gray on my palette here from last time, but it's not, it's a bit too dark. Surprise, surprise. I want to mix in some off-white and layer up this, these seals I missed. Well, the parchment of the seals. I'm pretty sure I didn't hit those last time. And I'm just going to do the little strip thing. Just trying to paint small lines. Kind of a varying thicknesses, really. Cool. For the parchment text, the black squiggles, I'll probably just use some of this Black Templar contrast. I think it's been diluted a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully this yields a result that is suitable. Okay, so it's certainly a little too subtle. Just a bit, right? Just a bit too subtle. Just trying to mix in some of this black paint I have on my palette already. Let's try this again. Oh God. Not liking it. Not liking it. Hey, what's going on, Shamari? Thanks for stopping by. I saw your comment about how you couldn't believe I named him SHEEV. I just felt like it fit. And I think earlier when I was painting his face, I'm pretty sure I might have mentioned that it has a bit of that Palpatine energy. But I forgot his name was SHEEV, and I think that's way better. And for a Zinch guy, you know, he's gonna be a big schemer. It feels appropriate. It certainly feels appropriate. I'm gonna try out some Scale 75 Inktense Black. I think this might yield a better result. Yeah, I think I like this. I think I like this more already. Oh, it's a bit too strong. But maybe the abstract nature will make it okay. Just trying to be as subtle as possible. I just feel like the scripting for word bearers is very important. On this last one, I'll try and do something a little special, maybe. We'll see. It might result in a disaster. I don't have to paint over it. I'd like to put a sort of chaos. Oh, that's way too huge. I jinxed myself there. Terrible. Okay, well, I was thinking of putting a chaos star on the bottom of this parchment. Sometimes those little symbols look really cool. On the bottom of a purity seal or a cursed seal. Oh man, kind of mungling this one. Okay, and then you want to put a chaos star here, so I guess we gotta do like an asterisk, right? No, this is, oh no, yep, it's a disaster. Rip the dream. It is gone. Can we turn that into anything? Maybe we can turn it into a skull with horns. It's going to require some white to come back in there and add the eye holes and clean up the shape, but I have to come back to clean up the blotchy text on this one anyways. Dark tongue runes. Word bearers are deceivers. When in doubt, go with blood. That's a pretty good rule of thumb. Okay, so grab a bit of my dark sea gray blend, and I'm going to try and do the opposite. Just add squiggles to kind of reduce the intensity of some of these. Cool. And this one up here. And on this guy, let's see, can we do something cool here? Is it possible? I'll be honest, I don't love it. Maybe there's a decal, actually. Maybe that's the easier solution. Maybe there's an easier solution. How is the size of these black runes? Would that work? Maybe. Maybe. You put a little circle on there. Don't really know what that would signify, though. What are we thinking? We also got these ones off the standard sheet, but they're a bit too large. Okay. I'm gonna embrace the decals. I gotta put one on anyways, so maybe that'll be the solution I yield to. Alright, so coming back with some Inktense Black for some scribbles on these. Inktense is a fairly glossy paint, so it's actually really good for dividing these metal pieces, I find. Creating a bit more definition in the metallic materials. Okay, and these last ones. Uh-oh, that's way too huge. Too huge. How's it going, Tony the person? Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Yeah, we're just, I'm just out here, you know, grinding out the hobby. Gonna finish up this Terminator Sorcerer. Okay, the Steel Legion, my palette is a little dead, so I'm gonna add a bit more. It's already blended with a bit of skeleton bone from Army Painter, and I want to kind of leverage that a little bit to just layer up this these basing details just before they get hit with the dry brush. Alfarius, you are once again late. It's okay. I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you. You know, guys, I was having some thoughts, and to my surprise, I learned that the the Pariah mission deck, that new match play mission deck, is absent of the terrain layouts, and for the life of me, I can't wrap my head around why that was omitted. Because it'd be really convenient to have a one-stop solution, so to speak, with this mission deck that would allow you to just set up and play the game. I mean, how hard would it be to include, like, whatever, 6 extra cards with some terrain layouts? It's real lame. Real lame. I'm big disappointed. I'll paint some of these slate pieces. Any of the fairly flat rocks I think will look alright. I think that'll look pretty cool. You're being sunburnt, Tramari. It's not good. Gotta stay in the shade like a cool Raven Guard battle brother. Okay, so next is a bit of dry brush. Oh wait, no it's not. No, it's not. I'm missing some tubes. The all-important tubes gotta get painted. Jeez, almost getting ahead of myself. Yes, some of these tubes are not... They shouldn't be armored color. Or armor colored, that's for sure. I was also kind of keen to see the new Age of Sigmar faction rules, but when I checked the Warhammer community site yesterday, I saw the post is saying they're all coming out next week, which is like, ugh. They really want to trickle the hype. You can only play the new edition when the new box set is released, I guess. Oh no, his elbow. No. Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Then these larger tubes gotta get filled in. Oh man, this is gonna take 2 coats for sure. Certainly not following my inside to outside rule of painting here. This is a little awkward, honestly. Which way should I come at this from? How's it going, blessed brother Caldo? How is it going with me? Well, it's going. I'm just painting this Chaos Sorcerer in Terminator armor. Hoping he can, pretty sure he'll be done by the end of the stream. We're nearly there. Hold on. These lights are like making it super hot up here. I need to get my I need to dab the sweat from my forehead like a doctor. Okay, I'm gonna get some more toxic mist with another quick coat, and then that should be it for those tubes. There's not much to them. Just gonna hit them with some Hex Wraith after this. And then while the Hex Wraith dries, I'll just probably get those decals cooking. We'll set them to soak, rather. And then those steps will be done pretty quick, and then we're on to the base, and that's it. Cool. Okay, where is my, I need something for the microsol. I guess I could use this. I don't think the metal flakes will come off. We'll see. I have more decals. Should it be a problem? But you know what? I'll just apply the microsol over top. I think leaving it to soak is gonna... These aren't Forge World decals. They're not that, they don't require so much softening. Which should be an easy application, I think. Curious if any abhumans like ratlings have psychers. That's an interesting question, Tramari. Interesting question. I mean, I imagine so, right? It's just they still have human souls, right? So the same, whatever that percentage, I would imagine would hold true. But maybe the lore would say otherwise. Would these smaller letters fit? I think so. Maybe we'll go with one of these as well. Which shape to use, though? Sacrifice the abhumans to the Emperor? Yeah, I can see that happening. Sounds like typical Imperium stuff. I mean, most psychers are used for that purpose, right? Only the rare few become the units that we're familiar with fielding. Yeah, I think this slightly larger size works for the super huge shoulder pad of this, you know, Primaris scale Terminator. I think it'll suffice. Definitely need some microsol though. And as for this one, I think it'll work. Just dab it with some microsol and then apply a bit more up here. Hopefully the paint will be alright. Okay, so I guess we're ready for some Hexwraith. Where's my safety stand? The all-important safety stand. Interesting use of the Hexwraith. I was gonna say I haven't used this on tubes before, but I have. High Fleet Gengar uses this on some of the biomorphs. So I thought this was a bit of uncharted territory. Turns out it's tried and true use of the Hexwraith. I think it'll look pretty good. Gotta get that out of here, though. Gotta be mindful of the poolage, you know? Don't want too much. Yeah, I think these nodes coming in with the Hexwraith was the right choice. I think it's for the better. Cool stuff. Those are all the glowing areas, right? Looks like it. Alright, well, SHEEV is almost done, but for his base. So a little bit of dry brushing, and that'll be it for him. I'll probably shift gears, because we'll probably have quite a bit of time remaining. And start cutting up a possessed banner after this. But for the base, I'm going to mix some Lothern Blue with some Dark Sea Gray just to get a dull off blue as the first layer of dry brush on this dirt. And then I'll do a dry brush all over the dirt and the stone elements with off-white, maybe mixed with a bit of army painter. We'll see. We shall see. All right. From what I understand, in way older editions of 40K, GW even published rules, I think in a White Dwarf. I could be mistaken about that. But they published rules for having battles with Skaven in 40K. Now, I'd be hard-pressed to imagine modern, current-era GW doing such an action. But I wonder if that's an interesting idea for a video. Like, narratively, the Skaven just gnaw through dimensional planes to wherever they want to emerge, so they can definitely find a narrative justification to that I think would be pretty tasteful. Alright, next we'll get some off-white and some skeleton bone. So there's a bit of blue coming through from the previous dry brush here, but I don't think that's a bad thing. It's going to be pretty high contrast anyway, so I want to be fairly subtle with building this up. A little too strong. Yeah, look at that. That's playing with fire right there. Jeez. Get a bit more highlights on that skull. And then now that there's barely anything on the brush, you can go a bit harder. Cool. Yeah, that's his that's SHEEV's base. Pretty adequate, I'd say. Pretty adequate. As for the microsol, it should be... Yep, it has done its thing. We have a decal that can bend. A minimal deformation. Dang, I love Microsol. Nice. This one down here is pretty flat. I don't think there's any issues. Nice. Alright, that's I think that's a wrap on SHEEV. I'll rim the base off stream. Probably best to keep never mind. Okay, I'm gonna shift up the workspace a little bit, close the palette. Because I want to do a little bit of snipping and cutting with the standard bearer. I'll leave out the armor colors though, because I may come back for that. So black, Screamer pink, and where are we? Classic Foundation red, or Foundation Mech red. All you do is off to the side. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Since you influenced the name, are you the parent or godfather? Sure, Tremari, sure. We can say that. Yeah, I think it turned out all right. I'm not overly in love with how the runes turned out, but you know, he stands out as a character within a squad. He'll certainly be distinct, so there was that. But I think a less is more for the glowing elements seems to be better suited to the aesthetic of my army here. You know what? Maybe I spoke too soon. One more thing, okay? Maybe we can just brighten this up a little bit. Like how I would for High Fleet Gengar with these tubes, right? Just another layer over top of our tinting wash to add some brightness towards the middles. I think that will help. I suspect that this guy will look really good in photos with like low lighting and a good camera. But maybe that's just the cope talking. It's fine. Look, he's a painted model. It's not the best looking character, I don't think, but you know, he's a neat conversion at least. Alright, let's get these brushes out of the way. So, on these newer possessed models, we have this guy, the standard bearer. Someone commented on this little kit bash conversion here that it would probably benefit from adding some wear and tear to this banner. And I agree, but the challenge of it all is he's already built. So I hope going at it with a knife doesn't cause him to fall apart. We'll see. We'll pray it doesn't come to that. Yep, we're doing some destructive work here, live on camera, so hopefully hopefully I don't regret this. I also got a new knife blade, so that should certainly help. these also have got some wear and tear on them as well, so they're not the most precise clippers, but I think they'll suffice. I pull that off there and maybe add another missing piece up here. Let's see what we can do from a modeling point of view with this. Oh, getting dangerous. All right, that's looking a bit better. It'll create an interesting, or a more interesting silhouette, that's for sure. I wonder if I can take a little curve out of here as well. Starting about here, yeah. Let me just even it out. I think go a bit deeper on that side. If I can get through this and not have anything fall apart, I'll consider that a win. Alright, that's a cool curve, I think. This side's a bit tricky. I feel like I'm gonna cut myself if I do that. Oh geez, didn't want to do that. Okay, I'd love to keep that piece. Maybe I can glue it back on. This is gonna be we're doing it live. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, we got it. Where's my super glue? Perfect. It's right here. Okay. As for I'll have to glue this piece back on. We'll leave that aside. Maybe that's all this side needs, just a little nick. Right, because you'll have a piece that comes down like that. And this side, you can probably just do a similar sort of shape. Maybe just two. So we'll cut out two pieces like this. If we can get my my clippers in here, though. Man, definitely don't recommend doing this. I recommend doing this before you assemble and prime and put a base on your model. I'll keep a bit of trim partially on this side. This is the side closer to him, so I think it's reasonable to imagine it's a bit more intact. All right, I think it's I think that does make it more interesting. More appropriate for chaos, probably. Okay, I have to glue this piece back on. And I grabbed a toothpick just for that purpose. Our baby boy is beautiful, how dare you? Nice. You know what? I don't disagree, Tremari. It's a nicely painted model. I am. Look, it could be a lot worse. I guess in my mind I just imagined it differently. That's all. Just expectations versus the outcome. It's not a. Yeah, just a little underwhelmed with what I imagined versus what I ended up making. Okay, so let's glue this back like that. Okay. I don't think I need a ton of this stuff. That should be adequate, I think. And then I just have to hope that I never drop this guy ever, because that piece is probably gonna break off. Shoot. Let's try that again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Man, manipulating this piece is proving to be quite challenging. Well, look, the surgery, I think, was a success. That's the point, right? I'm gonna probably curve this one in a little bit. You know, tattering up these pieces means there's less painting work to be done, so that's a bit of a bonus. Cool. Very cool. Alright, what time are we at? Probably go for another half hour. Have a shorter stream. Today it's fairly quiet anyways, so I don't feel like there's a lot of pressure to continue. We'll apply some base colors to these possessed. Well, especially this one. He might need a bit of primer too. Quite warm. We'll move SHEEV aside for now. Just going in here with some black primer. I don't like this. I don't like this shape. It's just so cookie cutter, you know? What to do, what to do. Try and create a loop like this. How to handle this shape? Like this side looks, I think, pretty good, pretty natural. I think. This side, not so much. Wonder if it has to do with how round it is. Okay, so we got another point in there now. Just gotta kind of fix the shape. Ideally in such a way as to not cut myself. Probably not coming across on camera too well in terms of the readability, right? It's probably a lot of shadows being created by the base being held at this angle, and it's just kind of black on black, so it makes it harder to read. This is a little dangerous. Whoops. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to knock the camera. Oh boy. Okay, I think that's better. Let's give that a layer of prime and see how it reads. Alright, I think that's certainly better. Okay, so I'm gonna get some foundation red, or Mechrite red. Just a dash of Screamer pink. Glazing medium. I'm gonna start applying some base colors to this guy. This is a bit red compared to his fellow Battle Brothers, that's for sure. I want to darken that up a bit. Yeah, so what is armor and what is demonic skin? Who is to know? Who is to know? Some areas are more obvious than others. It's kind of weird that the possessed kit's shoulder pads don't have any room for decals. Wonder, like, does GW think the iconography does not persist when you become a possessed? Just goes away. Certainly wasn't the case for the Galvor back, right? Maybe it was. I can't recall offhand. Try and create some blends at this stage if I can. Oh yeah, his hand will be gold, so we'll leave that. Possessed are of such seniority. They get the golden hands. You know, in my headcanon for this warband, I always imagine, like, well, word bearers, generally speaking, wouldn't really care for chosen so much. I think anyone who's worthy enough to be a veteran, a chosen, would become a possessed. At least that's, you know, my sensibilities of it. Feels on theme. What to do with this banner, though? Like a big demon skull? Maybe I should invert it. Like my Firekeeper's banner. Sorry, maybe I should invert it relative to my Firekeeper's banner, right? So the Firekeeper's chapter ancient he's a green guy, obviously. And he's got a draconic, representation of a monster with a lot of red and fiery tones. I wonder if I should do the inverse of that here with maybe green fire. Using our Hex Wraith colors or Toxic Mist colors. It could be interesting, but I think you want a demonic face front and center. I don't know, like that big? You have horns like this. Something to think about. I'll probably begin the freehand on that sort of stuff after the base model is done, like with the Firekeeper's chapter ancient. So it's a bit brighter than the other ones, which is all right. I want to have it. I can always bring it back down with a wash, is what I'm thinking. So I think this is the right, closer to the right value of the armor color. Let's get some more of that Mechrite red and have at it. Just think about how I want those blends to, what direction for the blends to travel in, right? Like this. On the chest plate, for instance, it's going to be darker towards the edges. I think that's more interesting. Go darker again towards those edges, darker towards the back. Uh-oh, this guy's not glued on properly. That pin is... it's carrying. That is one annoying aspect of this basing scheme. It requires pinning on basically every model, which is a little annoying. how's he looking? More or less in line. Alright, let's get the next one. How's it going, the Pyro? Thanks for stopping by. What'd you miss? Not much. Pretty quiet stream, all things considered. All things considered, really. Pretty low-key. I was thinking of wrapping it up early. What are you working on? That's the real question. I'm working on some Possessed. I finished up SHEEV. That's what I guess you missed. SHEEV's looking pretty good, I'd say. Let me get him on frame here. And I think he came together fairly well. Quite a bit more use of the glowing green stuff, but you know, it is what it is. That's how he's modeled. Though I could have chosen to not go as hard with it. I don't know. I don't really feel like working on him anymore, though. You've been converting an HQ. Nice, nice. That's always fun, right? Making your own custom characters. The very essence of your dudes. Continue trying to create some decent quick blends. Get some light areas in here, then we'll come in on our palette and get some dark areas going. It's actually a pretty good exercise for the wet blending. Also learning why milliput is good, because sanding green stuff sucks. Yeah, green stuff does not take well to sanding. It gets all fibrous. I assume that's what you're experiencing. It's I find it's too soft to sand on its own. You need like a very fine grit and basically to use water. And at that point you're like you're basically polishing. You're polishing it down, not sanding it. Looking fairly close in color. Dang, these Animal Crossing tracks, eh? quite the mood. Just catching up on the chat now, Pyro. Yep, exactly. Exactly what I was suspecting. Fibers and I need to wet sand with fine grit. Not ideal. What exactly are you building with green stuff? Like a cape or something a bit more complex? Oh, patch and holes. Interesting. I have... Before you came into the stream, I was making holes. Well, not making holes. I cut up this banner a little bit. A little bit of destructive work. Someone suggested it when I shared it out as a post. I was like, yep, that's probably a good addition, right? To make it look less similar to my Firekeeper's Ancient, who has the exact same banner model. And also making it look a bit more chaotic. Okay, we've got this running man with a big old, well, what would you call this kind of hand? Like a bird talon, but on his arms. Definitely gonna, you know, that's his stronger hand. What do you want? Don't judge him. And this guy's got barely any armor on. His legs are all exposed. It's a bit of an obliterator diaper situation with this guy. This is one area where I'm like, yeah, make the demonic skin color not so stark to the armor color, because he looks nude. It's like a guy who goes into battle with no pants on but wears a shirt. You know, it's not the best look. Do I know the big axe on the Plague Marines kit? Yeah, it's like a big, what do they call it? A Plague Cleaver? It's like a two-handed weapon, right? So you're patching in the holes on that guy. Okay, gotcha. Making it look a little less decrepit. Yeah, I could see that working. You know, some people have found the Death Guard range, like the aesthetic of them, to be a bit too a bit too over the top with regards to how like decayed they are. And they have tentacles and bugs, and there's just like a lot going on design-wise, which I can appreciate. Right? Especially if you came off of the older Plague Marine sculpts that were a bit more subtle, you know? Just bloated. Not too much in the way of this random teeth coming out and fangs and weird tentacles coming out of armor ports. So I can see that not being something everybody would appreciate. You made it more new and clean? Nice. And also one-handed? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Is this for like a Master of Executions kind of character? Like a big axe man? A headhunter? An Alpha Legion HQ with Power Axe. Nice. Counts as the Skin Thief for Kill Team. Interesting. I guess that's the guy with the two knives and all the skin pieces hanging off of his shoulder pads. Yeah, this guy looks pretty awesome. A little 8-bound-esque in that he has a leg armor that's bulging with his muscles. It's like, imagine having legs so strong they bulge out of your power armor. Crazy. Oops. Butterfingers. Running out of our Neckrite red. His face is all demonic, right? This is trim, and then it's just going to go right into a demon head, so I don't need any armor color there. We'll put some armor color here, and here, and I create a dark blend this way. Oh, for the Night Lord kill team. Night Lord's kill team pyro, I see. I am not familiar with any of the units from that that kit, though it does look very nice. But you know, it's a win for Night Lords. I am too preoccupied putting candles on Terminators and making a possessed hold a banner. Also, kill team isn't something my play group is all into. I'm actually kind of curious how the wash is going to treat these kinds of blends. Oh, this guy's got some nice detail. This whole side of him is just a mouth. That's super cool. Look at that. Pretty cool. Feels good converting for a full roster of Kill Team. 20 Space Marines, nice. Yeah, Kill Team seems like a good time, to be honest. In terms of a gameplay experience on a tabletop, I think it's probably better than 40k. I don't think that's a hot take. Right? Less downtime, faster turnover between games. Could probably get 2 to 3 games in the time it takes to play a round of 40k. Seems a bit more suited for a competitive gaming system anyways. Certainly more practical, right? You have to lug your army around to different events. I mean, for narrative events, it's a different story, of course, but... oh, there's a piece I missed. Well, fellas, we're probably going to wrap up soon. I said I was going to wrap up at 9, but went a bit into overtime here. Not a totally uncommon occurrence. So after I finish this up, finish up this last Legionary's base colors, or not Legionary, Possessed. After I finish him up, we'll wrap this stream up for today. I could use some brighter colors down here. Kill team has some good narrative elements. Nice. Like a Last Stand or a Metal Gear sneaking type mission where there's a cone of view for the guards. That's fun. That I could see myself enjoying for sure. Alright, let's begin the cleanup process here. Whoops. Jeez, almost had a disaster. Almost knocked my light over. That would have been bad. Okay. Yeah, the Possessed are looking pretty cool. Banner's looking better, I think. The other boyos in the squad are looking pretty sharp. Base colors are down for the armor. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, that banner's going to be an important piece. Banners are crucial. Every chapter or legion needs a banner bearer, you know? Gotta have some pride for the legion or the chapter. And of course there's SHEEV, which we managed to finish today. It's a little shiny on that decal, huh? But a bit of Lamian medium will fix that right up. It's no big deal. And then, you know, we'll rim the base, and then I'll get a beauty shot of him at some point. His unlimited power. He's looking pretty sharp. Anyways, if you guys made it to the end of the stream, you are the real hobby heroes. The company and camaraderie hobbing with you guys on stream is always appreciated. Thanks to everyone who chatted here in the live stream, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh, I just saw your question there, Pyro. I'm about to wrap up. No, it's not something official. I just want a banner bearer, a standard bearer, a guy with a banner in my word bearers. I think it's important. I'll just count it as an icon in the squad. But with that, I'll bid you guys adieu. Toodles.